Hello, welcome back to my single issue reviews. I know I haven't done one of these in a few months. I figured why not catch up with it by doing issues 2 through 6 of Scarlet Witch Volume 2. Okay? First up, Scarlet Witch Volume 2, issue number 2. This issue has the Scarlet Witch going to Greece. Though not the country of Greece, one of its islands. I have to get out and see what the name of the island is. Also, I'm going to show some artwork in here. The artwork in here is really good. The artist in here is, if I can find the page here. That's not it. It is, Marco Rudy is the artist in here, and here is the artwork. It's kind of dark, but the artwork, in my opinion, is actually really good. She's in the Greek island of Santorini, I think it's how you pronounce it. And the artist, this is one problem I have with this series. They can't keep her outfit consistent. Now it's changed to, let's see if we can find a good full frontal view. This is the same artist who did Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier. No, this artwork is done a lot better than in that book, because that first issue, it's like somebody just gobbled up all of the artwork, chewed it up, and spit it all over the artwork. That's how bad the artwork was. That's probably the reason why the book was canned after 11 issues. Here's a kind of a good image of basically the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, for some reason, even though we gotta change the artist, we gotta change her outfit too. And why is she here? Well, even though the whole point, the storyline for the series is to figure out why is witchcraft breaking down. And she's here to investigate the appearances of the Minotaur, who is this guy, if you can see him. This is really Manbull, a D-list Daredevil villain whose real name is William Torres. Even though he's called the Minotaur in this issue, he is definitely Manbull, who is a creation of Jerry Conway when he was writing the Daredevil series back in I think the early 70s, I believe it was. Yeah, it was it was around the time when they changed the title's cover title from just Daredevil to Daredevil Black Widow. The artwork, I think, for Marco Rudy is a lot better presented in this issue than it was during the Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier series, which had good writing, not that good artwork. I gotta say the artwork is actually much better in here. You can actually see what's going on. It has sort of like a multi-panel type of thing, which is really nice. Very much sort of a serialization type of thing. But this issue, I think, is I'd say the art. Yeah, like I said, the artwork is much better than it was in Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier. So I give this issue a 8.5 out of 10. The only reason why I take a point off, because even though the artwork is an improvement, it's just, for some people, it's going to be like way too dark to see what the heck is going on, especially for the night scenes for this book. Alright, next up, Scarlet Witch 3 and 4. There's a reason I'm reviewing these two together, because these two essentially are a two-parter. Now, Scarlet Witch is in Dublin, Ireland in these two issues. Though, these two issues have got two artists. You have Steve Dillon, and I'm trying to remember who the other artist was. Now, Steve Dillon is known for drawing very realistic artwork, but very mature style artwork. It's Steve Dillon. He does the Ireland scenes. Chris Visions does the Witch's Road scenes. And if you want proof of this guy's artwork, let's show a picture of the Scarlet Witch. Once again, sporting her third outfit in the series. Yep, one thing about Steve Dillon, he loves drawing women very sexualized, but not in the way basically that offends people. But this is a very realistic version of the character. For one thing, the hair is consistent. The colors, I gotta praise the colors for this, because in later issues they change her hair color for no explainable reason. You see, Scarlet Witch is a brunette, and I'm glad the fact that the colorist for Steve Dillon, who is Frank Martin, thank you for keeping Scarlet Witch's hair being brown. That is her hair color, not black. Now, there is a reason for the two artists, because there's a couple pages in here that where the artwork changes. You're like, what did the artwork change for? That's because she goes to a place called the Witch's Road. Here's a sample of Chris Vision's artwork. Artwork's actually it's not too bad, but she's there in double investigating some paranormal stuff involving a bar, and the bar gets destroyed, but the spirit gets exorcised. And then she goes to Witch's Road. Also, the Emerald Warlock shows up in this issue, who she does fight in the next issue, but this is the first the character has physically appeared in the comic. At this point, this is just after his appearance from Uncanny Avengers in #1 from Volume 3. And basically, the whole point of the character is that they created him to be specifically for an enemy for Scarlet Witch. And in this issue, which picks up right where this issue leaves off, this issue has her in the Witch's Road, which is still in Ireland, by the way. And Chris Visions does pretty much almost the entire book by himself. The last 2 pages are done by Steve Dillon. Now, in this issue, you see this issue kind of had this appearance too. You had the first appearance of Scarlet Witch's mother, Natalia Maximoff, who is Scarlet Witch's biological mother, and she also calls herself Scarlet Witch. She doesn't immediately tell her that she's actually her daughter from the future in a way, but you get a lot of character development here. Plus, you get Scarlet Witch fighting for the first time the Emerald Warlock, which he doesn't show for the next couple issues. I'm not sure when he's expected to return, but it's nice the fact they made these two simply a two-parter. This kind of like, because I'm sure after 2 straight standalone issues, you probably need a two-parter. And of course, the issue ends with seeing a bunch of crows coming to the Dublin airport, and the next issue completely ignores that. It goes someplace else. But nice couple issues, 9 out of 10. Great artwork from both Chris Visions and Steve Dillon. And the colorist, thank you, Frank Motley, for drawing, for coloring her hair, her actual hair color. Alright. Next up, issue number 5. She is in the country of Spain, and she's battling, well, prejudice in the way. Yeah, and the first person she encounters is a priest who calls her a pagan, but she's used to the insults. And for the first time since issue 1, you actually have her wearing, let's see, what's a good picture of the artwork. Now, this artist I do have a slight problem with. The artwork, the artist this issue is Javier Pudo, I think his name is. Now, this artist, oh my gosh. This artist is the artist who drew She-Hulk. And this is probably what drew people away from the book, because the artwork was not very interesting. And this is her actual outfit. For the first time since issue 1, she's actually wearing her actual outfit. It's like, editor, whoever's editing this book, why is she changing her clothes every issue? It makes 0 sense for her to do that. And she's in Spain to deal with some investigating some monastery, and the artwork is, she just wanders around going through all the history of the Spanish Inquisition. Now, here's a sample of the guy's artwork. Now, those of you who read She-Hulk, you may recognize his artist right away. This is the same artist who did She-Hulk, and this is probably what drove the title to get canceled after 12 issues, because the artwork, the guy is obsessed with drawing eyes so freaking huge, and having, now, I don't have a problem with the guy's backgrounds, it's how he draws the characters, really, is the problem. Like, most of the time they draw the characters with the same faces. This issue, by far, now, I had nothing against the guy, but come on, he could do a little bit more better. The coloring is fine. I have no problem with the colors. The colorist is Mr. Vinci, I think his name is. Yeah, the colorist is fine. I don't have a problem with the colors for this book. The problem is the pencils, and this artwork is not very good. Out of the 6 issues, this one has the worst artwork, and I am not really a big fan of this artwork. And this was the same guy who drew She-Hulk looking like a guy half the time when she was seen. But the story is kind of interesting for this. It's kind of the weakest issue of the whole series, but it's still a pretty decent issue to read. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I took an extra point up because the artwork's not that good. No, it's not. Alright, last issue, and then we're done with this video. Scarlet Witch number 6. Now, this one was originally disappointing when it originally came out. The artwork is done by the artist who drew the first issue for this particular series. And this is something that I do like about this issue. Okay, you have her back in her actual costume that she's supposed to wear. Well, wait. They exchange outfit again. Really? Why do they keep changing the outfit for it? This makes no sense. And also, okay, it's Marju's Savage. I have no problem with the artwork, but why in the world does her outfit have to keep changing every issue? Can't they have her in her costume for more than like an issue? I mean, yeah, she's traveling around the world. Okay, at least she's staying in the same costume the whole series. In other books, she actually is wearing the extra costume she's supposed to be wearing in this title, and she's only worn it for 2 issues. 2 out of 6. But my biggest gripe with this issue is her hair color. That is not her hair color. I mean, if you look very closely at this, I don't know if this was a printing error or something, but the colorist. Let's see. There's no credit for a colorist in here. My guess is it's probably Margaret Savage, I think it's how you pronounce the person's name. Okay, the cover I do like. It's David Aja, the artist who did Hawkeye. I love this cover. It's one of the high points I can praise for the series. My biggest problem with this issue is her hair color. Scarlet Witch is a brunette. Her hair is not black. I do not know why the artist did this for. The whole point of this issue is that she's in France, in Paris, nonetheless, and she's trying to convince. And also I should mention there is a reference to the group of French superheroes who the Thing teamed up with in the original Civil War event 10 years ago. If you read the Fantastic Four issues for Time for Civil War, they do mention those characters, but they're mentioning that they're missing. But there's a French version of Archangel in this issue, and he's very mopey and suicidal. It's almost like this issue was kind of a filler issue in a way, but it's a good filler. Not much in advancement of the main story arc of this series, dealing with the whole thing with magic. This book has nothing to do with magic. It's basically a character who is mopey because his wife died, and Scarlet Witch helps reunite with late love, and he becomes a hero again. And it's a spotlight for France. Okay, I have nothing against Robinson or the artist. Okay, the artwork, I thought there was one page here I thought was like, I was looking back, this is issue 6, not issue 1. So why does a page in here feel like it's something from issue 1? Probably because it's the first copies that count as issue 1? I don't know. It just how it depends upon what the artist wants to do, or James Roberts wants. Now, the writing is still very solid, but unlike with the previous issue, which was kind of a disappointment, this issue has got good artwork, good writing. After rereading a couple times, I don't feel disappointed as I was when I originally read it. But it's still a good issue nonetheless. I do recommend all 6 issues. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All six issues. Now, this is just 2 through 6. Now, I give this issue an 8.5 out of 10. The only reason why I take a half point off because the story doesn't really advance very far, but it's still a good story. I have nothing against it. But, and the next issue, she's going to Hong Kong, which is where Daredevil is. So maybe James Robertson is going to take get notes from Charles Show and have her maybe team with Daredevil next issue, because he's clearly in Hong Kong, so I wouldn't be surprised at that. So I'm looking forward to the issue that comes out. Basically, these 6 issues is all that's come out so far. Issue 7 has not come out yet. But good series, highly recommended. Even if you're like curious, like if you just heard the character thanks to Avengers Age of Ultron, you would love this series. The writing is great. And if you're a fan, like I recommend people who are fans of the film version, like who were fans of Scarlet Witch, which not a really big amount, but there is fans out there. Anyone's a fan of James Robinson would love his writing style here. He writes Scarlet Witch to be very, very intelligent. And the fact that I forgot to mention, Agatha Harkness is still a supporting character in the series, but she's been absent for the past couple issues. I do not know why. Issues 5 and 6 is no appearance by Agatha Harkness at all. She's only in the first 4 issues so far. I have no idea if she's going to be in issue 7 or not. Now, my guess is how she get the money to travel. I do have a couple theories behind this. One is probably the governments of these countries are probably paying her to come to those countries. Or 2, she probably gets the money from being an Avenger. That's more probability, because I'm sure she probably still gets a regular salary from the Avengers, even though she's not in any current roster at the moment. But still a great series. High recommendation. The series is still rolling really solid. 6 issues in, still rolling really solid. All right, that's it for this. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next video, which I'm going to do the first 3 issues of Power Man Iron Fist and the first issue of the Punisher, the current Punisher. But until then, see you there. Bye.